Hello, everybody. Welcome to Transcend with NNG with myself, Brittany Walker, your host, also known as New Nation Goddess. We've made it to episode 4 in season 1, Optimal Wellness. So today we'll be talking about how to achieve optimal wellness by engaging in positive health outcomes. Okay, so when people think about optimal wellness, they automatically just go to the physical wellness. They don't think about the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical all together. All 4 of them together completes the optimal wellness. So we're going to talk about different practices and tips and things that you guys can deep dive into to ensure that you're conquering frequency number 3 out of the 8 frequencies of elevation created by New Nation Goddess. Okay, guys? So I always like to start off the podcast with the I am statement. Again, I am represents inspiration, affirmation, and manifestation. But the I am statement for today, or our power statement for today, is I am going to achieve optimal wellness by making the best health choices in order to fulfill life longevity. Ashe. How is it that we can really rise up and conquer what's ours if we don't have life longevity, if we don't have the proper health and the proper wellness to see through these goals and these passions and these things that we're sowing seeds into and we're fulfilling? We don't want to just create something and then we're gone tomorrow. So why not be conscious on what you're putting in your body, what you're putting on your body? Okay, so we'll be talking about that a little bit more in just a second. I always like to highlight a book or a resource that is gearing or should I say complementing the tips that we're going to be talking about through each episode. And for today, we're going to do Heal Thyself. Heal Thyself for Health and Longevity by Queen Afua. This book is so good. It has so many great resources. It has rituals. It has recipes. It has actual mantras you should say, organizations you should pay attention to, fasting and detoxing tips. So good with detoxing the body, guys, because once you detox the body, again, people think that's for physical wellness. Detoxing the body will help clear out any chemical imbalances you're having in your body. So that's going to help with your mental and emotional health and keeping those things positive and stable. Okay, guys. So again, Heal Thyself by Queen Afua, again, for health and longevity. If you have not checked that resource out, we recommend that you do so. It is such a great book. She has a lot of other books, Sacred Women, a lot of different programs that she does throughout the year, retreats, and wellness webinars as well. So be sure to follow Queen Afua if you do not do so already, and definitely check out her resources as she's helping women and men to achieve their optimal wellness. All right, guys, you always know that I also have a tea. I'm going to take a sip. My bad if that was too loud in the audio for those of you who could see me via video. I am sipping on chai tea latte today. So the cinnamon, the cardamom, the allspice, the nutmeg, all of those spices are so essential with adding antibiotics in the body. Okay. It helps with antifungal. It's antimicrobial. It helps remove the mucus, the unwanted mucus from the body, guys, that's clogging up our hearts. I also added a little oat milk in it and additional ginger and turmeric. Again, awesome detoxing agents and spices that aid in decreasing inflammation in the body, decreasing pain, heart healthy, brain healthy, eye healthy, gastrointestinal healthy, helping you be able to go to the bathroom regularly and not be constipated, also helping to flush the toxins and chemicals out your body that could be causing sickness. We are entering into the autumn season, so that means that the leaves are getting ready to change on the trees. That means we're going to have a lot more pollen out in the air. The air quality might be a tad bit different, so you want to make sure that your body is filled with the nutrients that it needs to be able to combat any illness that is trying to creep up and take over, because we are not letting it get to us. So cheers for today's episode as I take another sip. We're going to go ahead and get started. So optimal wellness, again, guys, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So essential for you to cater to all of those different wellnesses. That makes up 25% apiece. You can't just focus on the physical. So when it does come to optimal wellness, being a plant-based nutritionist and a retired biology professor and a retired chef, it is extremely important to pay attention to your nutrition. Guys, I cannot beat it into your heads enough how important nutrition is for our culture. From the beginning of time, plant-based food has always been a part of our culture. If you go to ancient African history, most of those foods are derived from plant objects. Of course, when you incorporate things like the delicacy of goat, or when you're incorporating chicken and beef and prawns and things of that sort, okay, those are protein alternatives. But when you're looking at the side dishes, the grains, the things that you are actually making to complete your full meal, those items are plant-based. Teff is it's the smallest grain in the world, but it's the most essential grain known to men. Okay. If you engage in African food, like I love Ethiopian food, and if you get injera bread, it is made from teff. Teff is so essential for our bodies. It's even more important than quinoa, wild rice, brown rice, any other grain that you think that may be a little bit more beneficial. Oat, teff is going to be the go-to. So again, nutrition is so important. People don't realize that once slavery came into play, we got the scraps. Our ancestors was getting the scraps of everything. So they were having to take, the chitlins. They was having to take the oxtail. They were having to take pieces of the animal that, massa was not wanting to eat. So then they will make do with that. Putting pork in your beans and putting pork in your greens and things of that sort to give it flavor. That came from the scraps that our ancestors were getting. But you have to remember, when you're feeding a pig, pigs are not eating the healthiest things, especially in current age. They're eating slop. They're eating feces. They're eating man-made items that are not conducive and straight from the ground. So think about it. If the animal is consuming that the entire time it's alive, and then once it's butchered and the meat is broken down, then that is given to you. So then you are then consuming the chemicals and the things that animal was taking in. I always tell people, think about a gorilla. Think about an elephant. Think about some of the strongest animals in the world. If you look at what they eat, it's grass. It's leafy greens, what people call grass food, like salad food and rabbit food. It's leafy greens, it's nuts, seeds, grains, fruits, things that the body is taking from its most natural source of the earth, coming from plants, using the photosynthesis from the sun, that natural vitamin D. We talked about that vitamin D and how important it is for the neuromelanin chemical reaction for melanin people to help activate our power, or our most creative source in our body. All right, guys. So having those things, if the gorilla and the elephant are eating those things, then they're not eating meat. The meat is not making them stronger. So if you eliminate the meat portion or the middleman, then if you just go straight to the nuts, the seeds, the plants, the grains, the leafy greens, the fruits, why can't we just consume those ourselves and be able to get the optimal nutrients that we need? Being able to eat from all of the food groups in a variety of colors, not just eating just red vegetables, not just eating just green fruits, but your plate should be colorful. We should have purple. So a little bit of eggplant, a little bit of purple cabbage. You might even have grapes, seeded grapes, not seeded, seeded. We need those seeds because that we know that it is a real source of food. It's not what I like to call astronaut food, or something that was made in the lab or has GMOs or chemicals or has been processed that can eventually turn into chronic illnesses, tumors, and things along the line, but actual plant-based items, guys. So it is extremely important that you are eating seeded fruits, but a little bit of yellow. So squash. You might not like squash, but there's pineapple, there's mango. Okay. So then you think about red, you have tomatoes, you have red bell peppers. You think about even red lentils. have greens. So there's leafy greens, there's pears, there's kiwis, there's broccoli, spinach. There's so many different things. Collard greens. Most people think that kale is the best leafy green you can have. Is actually collard greens. If you're just not throwing all of the extra fat and cholesterol to it, then collard greens actually provide you a substantial amount of protein and iron, and more protein than actual meat itself. You're supposed to, well, what the dietary recommendations are for America is we should have about 5 to 7 ounces of protein a day, but you can actually get that again through your leafy greens in its most whole form. And so just again, guys, just different colors on your plate. Orange, so carrots, bell peppers as well, just to be able to, like I said, add the different colors, because each color is adding a different nutrient and has a different type of healing agent for the body. So it's extremely important. One of my favorite quotes that I have come up with is, what you put in and or on your body determines your path to the real fountain of youth. You don't get to the fountain of youth by going to a fountain and drinking this special potion. It's about what you're truly putting in and on your body. That goes for your toiletries as well. People think that nutrition or what you're putting in your body is just about what you're eating. It's about what you're eating, what you're drinking, and the actual products that you're using. So your shampoos, your conditioners, your soaps, your lotions, things of that sort. Those chemicals over time will eventually start decreasing. I was actually correct. Start decreasing functionality within the body because it starts creating disease. I am really big on natural toothpaste. Shout out to Garner's Gardener. That is one of my favorite toiletry, all natural and organic companies that I use. Philip Garner, he's amazing. One of our partners as well. If you go to their website, garnersgarden.com, and use code New Nation Goddess, then you are able to take advantage of some of the great options that they are serving on their website. But they have an all natural tooth powder and mouthwash that I like to use that has thoroughly cleaned up my gums, because I actually heavily smoked cigarettes for over a decade and my gums were black. I was starting to spit up tar after time, but after using their products, my gums are completely pink. My teeth stay white naturally. I don't have to go get them professionally done with the added chemicals in the whitener. So even things like that, when you have too much fluoride in the body, fluoride is in all original or big brand name toothpastes that we've been using for years. So little amounts and traces of fluoride over time, if you're just swallowing a little bit each day over a 20 or 30 year period, eventually that fluoride is a chemical that's navigating throughout the body and is going to start festering into something else. Fluoride can lead to Alzheimer's and chronic illnesses and tumors and cholesterol buildup. So you have to be very, very careful on what you're putting, again, in on your body. So keep your nutrition up, drink lots and lots of water, a minimum of 4 water bottles a day at the standard size, the 15.9 ounce, the regular water bottle. If you drink 4 of those a day, that equivalates to the 8 cups a day that the doctor used to tell you that you should drink. Drinking a lot of tea and herbs, consuming a lot of herbs. Herbs are natural healing agents, guys. A lot of the medications and things that you will find, even over the counter or things that you can get on the shelf from like a pharmacy or a Walgreens, CVS of some sort, a lot of those products come from like aloe vera and specific herbs that if you could just eat or put those products on your skin or consume it in a different type of way, then you are going to get a better healing process when you have it straight from the natural plant source before it has all the chemicals and GMOs and the things that needed to help process the item so it can have longer shelf life. All right. So nutrition is so important for your optimal wellness. Being physically fit. I know people hate exercising. I know. Guys, I was able to lose over 80 pounds. To be honest with you, it was right at about 94 pounds. I did not like the way that I looked after I lost all of the weight, but I was just trying to get rid of all of the fat and unwanted mucus in the body. And then I started gaining back muscle to get to my desired outcome. So physical fitness, At first, I was not exercising when I started on my plant-based journey. I have been plant-based now for a little over 5 years, and I've just been consistent with my exercising just in 2022. So just from January to now September is the only time I've been consistent. In the last couple of years, I would exercise for like 2 weeks here, then stop, a month here, stop, 2 months here, and then completely stop for like a year or two. So this is the only time I've been consistent, and being consistent has drastically helped. At first, I started with just a minimum of 30 minutes a day, 10 minutes in the morning. Then I'll do like 10 minutes of cardio in the morning. I'll do like 10 minutes of yoga during lunch. And in the evening time, I'll do maybe 10 minutes of toning. But now I have now worked my way up. At first, I was only doing 2 to 3 days a week. Now I'm exercising every single day. I get yelled at from time to time because I should be taking a rest break. So I'm trying to be conscientious about making sure I take a down day, because I even feel like, well, it's just 30 minutes. Let me go, walk up and down the stairs, or let me go do some quick yoga real quick. So it is extremely important to be physically fit because it helps with your mobility. It helps with making sure that your muscles and your joints stay at a very operable level, or a way for you to operate that you're not having to rely on a walker. You're not having to rely on somebody else to help you. You're not having to rely on other factors to keep you from doing something that you've been able to do for years and years and years. It's extremely important that if you are not a runner, there's other exercises you could do. There's aerobic and anaerobic. So you can swim, you can walk, you can stretch, you could do weightlifting, you can hike. You can dance. One of my favorite things to do is dancing in the morning. I will get up and serenade myself. I do not care. It's all about what works for you, but dancing is a form of exercising. So just be cognizant of different physical activities that you could do throughout the day. There's 24 hours in the day, guys. You could take 30 minutes to devote to your well-being. And I promise, once you get in that consistency and making a good habit of it, then 2 days turns into 3 days, 3 days will then turn into 5, so on and so forth. Then you're going to get to the point where 30 minutes is not enough. You're going to go up to 35 minutes, then 40, 45. And the next thing you know, you might be exercising an hour. It's nothing wrong with that, but just ensure that after you're exercising, that you're fueling your body with nutrients. Your body needs macronutrients, which is protein, carbohydrates, fats, and water to be able to function properly. When it comes to fats, we want the healthy fats. So polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, unsaturated. So things like nuts, seeds, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, safflower seed oil, avocados, coconut. Now, coconut oil is a saturated fat. It has a really, really, really high fat content. Although coconut can provide a lot of benefits, you do have to be mindful if you're managing your cholesterol levels that too much coconut oil can be a hindrance to your cholesterol levels, only because there is so much saturated fat in the actual oil. So just be mindful of those healthy fats. And then when it comes to carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, so whole grains, very, very important. Nuts and seeds, legumes, so beans, chickpeas, things of that sort. Lentils, those are going to be really, really great for your complex carbs. You don't want to do the simple carbs, which is the white flour, the white sugar, sweets, desserts. That's not going to fuel your body in the same type of way. That's actually going to add more unwanted mucus. So you want to make sure complex carbs, even like sweet potatoes, not regular potatoes, but sweet potatoes are actually a better option. So very, very important that you are fueling the body, because once you fuel the body, your body actually uses carbohydrates first, then it will go to fats, then it will go to protein. So if you're on something like the keto diet, if you're not adding carbohydrates to your body is then having to use protein or fats to then add fuel to the body. But then that's taking the proteins and fats from the functionalities that it's supposed to do in the body that's not energy. So you want to make sure that you are thoroughly researching your diets, because if you don't add carbohydrates to your body, carbohydrates actually aid in the maintenance and the repair of your body. It helps restore cells. It helps with brain functionality, healthy blood. So if you're not adding carbs into the body, 5, 10, 20 years down the line, you're going to start having malfunctions with the body because your body has to have that macronutrient to function. It doesn't matter if it makes you lose weight fast. It doesn't matter if it helps you look good quickly. Your body needs complex carbohydrates to operate at its optimal self. Okay, guys? So mental health, making sure that you're participating in active tools, journaling, meditating, taking time to yourself, setting healthy boundaries, being able to say no. It's okay to say no. Being a perfectionist and a people pleaser, it might be hard, but that's something that you have to really work on in order to get to your highest self. If some of those resources doesn't work for you, maybe listening to music, taking a getaway every couple of months to help you relax, even if it's just a day away at the beach or a staycation overnight to your favorite city that has your favorite restaurant. But it is truly important to seek therapy. I'm always going to promote therapy. It is taboo in the melanin communities that therapy, we don't do therapy in our family. We don't talk about our problems. I don't need to be telling somebody my business. I don't want a person, frowning their nose up at me and looking at me differently. But if you go to a really good therapist, they are going to ensure that, one, you don't keep coming to them for years and years and years. If they're not doing their job correctly, if they're doing their job correctly, you shouldn't have to be going to the same person all the time. There should be a point that even if you do want to use the same therapist over a long span, that you're doing it in increments because you want to make sure that the tools and things that they're giving you are actually working. You're making sure that they're working in your benefit. And then you go to them if you need additional assistance. So it's extremely important. I will always, always promote seeking a therapist. Okay, guys? Emotional intelligence, just making sure that you're cognizant of your emotions. You're cognizant of others' emotions. You're ensuring that your emotions are not affecting other people. Like Auntie Tabitha the Brown say, now don't go messing up nobody else's day. Now, if you're not feeling good or you're not in the best mood, don't project that energy onto other people. That is unfair. You got to learn how to be able to control your emotions. Now, it's human for you to have emotions. You get to the point that once you know what makes you angry, once you know what makes you sad, once you know what makes you scared or might have fear, you're able to break those things down and see them and start working to not allow them to not only affect you, but affect other people. So it is extremely important that you are aware of your emotional health and how you are projecting your emotions onto other people. All right. You want to make sure you have that equilibrium and that balance. Now, there's no such thing as going through life and not getting upset, not crying, not getting mad. But there is a way to go through life, experience life's journey, and then know how to really act based off of your emotions. Taking time to breathe. Breathing activities are so good. I like to breathe in for 4 count, hold for 3 to 4 count, and then breathe out 4 to 5 count. It is so important that breathing will bring you so much peace. It will allow you to think and pause and say, now back in my 20s, I might have reacted a little differently, nuck if you buck style, but now I'm older, I'm more mature, I'm trying to build wealth, I'm trying to make something of myself by fulfilling my purpose. I can't be out here acting a fool up in these streets. So it is extremely important that you find that healthy balance and what tools are going to help you keep that healthy balance. If you're putting a lot of alcohol in your system, which is toxins and chemicals at the end of the day, and a lot of sugar, that is not going to help you keep your emotions balanced. If you're upset and then you want to drink and then you keep drinking and keep drinking and keep drinking, when you get up in the morning, that problem is still going to be there. Those emotions may have fizzled a bit, but that problem is still going to be there. And all you did was add something to help you have a crutch. It's easier to find a better tool or resource that would not affect your health as much, that wouldn't cause you to have a mental or a chemical imbalance when it comes to your emotions. All right. Spiritual health, whatever floats your boat, whether you're religious, whether you're spiritual, whether you go between multiple religions, maybe you don't believe in any of it. It's extremely important that you have a moment to know where you can seek peace at away from everything else, where you know your source is, where you know your manifestations are coming back to you, where your prayers are coming back to you. So is it extremely important that you take time to show gratitude to your source, God, the Most High, whoever you pray to, the universe, the ancestors. Okay, it's extremely important to show gratitude. It's extremely important to be thankful of being able to be here another day, to be able to have opportunities, to be able to serve, help, and educate other people, to help other people heal. Even if you're healing, it's nothing wrong with helping other people heal. Now, it's a problem if you're trying to tell people what to do, like you have it all together. But it's a difference when you're genuinely trying to be nice and help others in ways that you can see, hey, I've been there before. Let me provide this resource or tool that may be helpful for you as well. And maybe you too could seek a better level of peace. Maybe you could transcend from that low vibration that you once realized that you were in. Okay. So tend to your spiritual health. It is so important, guys. Pay homage to the sun, pay homage to the moon, pay homage to earth, water, nature, the things that are really keeping us thriving and has helped us for so many centuries. All right, guys. Self-love and self-care. Love on yourself. You can achieve optimal wellness by loving on yourself. You can't beat yourself up all the time. You can't go nonstop. You need sleep. You need rest. You need to be able to indulge in things that you really like, whether that is sitting in the bed for just 1 or 2 hours on Sunday and catching up on your favorite show, drinking your favorite tea with no interruptions, whether that's going to the beach and being able to catch up on a book you haven't been able to read in a while. Maybe that's going mountain climbing or hiking in a real park. And it's just not something that you just think that you've been desiring to do or you've been wanting to do and you haven't been able to get a chance to. Even if it's just talking to your college friends, maybe you don't get to talk to your college friends as much because everybody's grown now. Everybody's doing their own thing. Everybody's trying to fulfill their purpose. So just taking time, maybe once a month, a couple of hours just to check in on everybody. Do whatever you need to do, but you need to make sure that you are taking care of you. And it doesn't have to involve other people. You can involve other people if that makes you happy and that's your form of self-love. But think about things that you could do just to take care of you. Even if that's just taking a soak, lighting some candles, putting the incense on, putting that music, some good groove music on. You can read in there. You can maybe paint your nails, maybe do a mask or a facial. Maybe you want to outline your crystals and journal and maybe manifest your next goal. Maybe you want to do some audio journals. Maybe you don't feel like writing. So get on Otter, Otter. The app is free. And maybe you want to do some audio journals. Do whatever is going to help you relax and rejuvenate so that you're able to get up and keep conquering what's rightfully yours. All right, guys. So I mentioned drinking lots of water earlier. Staying hydrated is extremely important because even if your physical health is optimal, once you've exercised, you need to rehydrate because you've burnt off so much. If your mentality is off just a tad bit, putting hydration in your body and helping you flush out whatever may be clouding your judgment will be very helpful. All right, guys. Meditation. That can go with spiritual, physical, emotional. Meditation is very useful. I see a lot of people that combine meditation and yoga together because it not only helps you stretch and be physically fit, but it helps you get your mental and emotional states together in addition to your spiritual. It's like you can use those two activities to conquer all of the levels of optimal wellness. Take time to just be quiet and clear your thoughts. If you can't do that, then do guided meditation. You can look on, there's all different types of apps now, but YouTube has a plethora of free guided meditations. Indulge in that. It is extremely important. All right, guys, detoxing. I recommend as a nutritionist every quarter to detox. Some people detox every month. Some people may fast. There's nothing wrong with fasting. There's nothing wrong with intermittent fasting, which is, just doing it for several hours at a time. I know a lot of people that will get up first thing in the morning and they'll have tea or liquid and then they'll go all day without eating and they'll eat maybe at like 5 o'clock in the evening, one large meal, and then they won't eat again until 7 a.m. when it's time for that liquid. And from 5 to 7, that's 12 hours of no food going in the body. Now, although you do need nutrients for the body, for it to be optimal, it is also important for you to flush the body. And the only way you can flush the body is to detox or to fast. So it is important that while you're doing your detox, I recommend to do raw detoxes, meaning that you're eating foods in its raw form. So smoothies, salads, whole fruits, eating anything that does not have to be cooked. Okay, when you eat those in its most raw form, because once you put heat, temperature, or anything to food, it starts killing off the nutrients. Have you ever noticed that broccoli is a beautiful fluorescent green when you first drop it in the boiling water or when you're sauteing it? But if you cook it for too long, it becomes a very dull green because it's pulled all the chlorophyll and the nutrients that is making it green. So it is important that you eat things at its most raw form. I recommend 7 days. 7 days will do a really great cleanse in the body. You'll wake up feeling better. You'll have more energy. Now, I do have to admit, it is a mental mind thing that you need to prepare for, because day 1 or day 2 going into day 3, you might start feeling a little delirious. So you have to be able to get your mindset on what you're doing. If 7 days is too much, just do a weekend. Do a Saturday and Sunday. If you have a 3-day weekend or a 4-day weekend off, if you're still working full time and you haven't completely transitioned into entrepreneurship full time, Friday through Monday is a great detox. 3 to 4 days, that works as well. But if you're trying to get rid of disease, if you're trying to reverse illnesses, let's say you have fibroids or ovarian cysts that keep growing, they're coming back growing, maybe detoxing for 14 days, 2 weeks, or even a month will be really, really good for your system. And then as you start incorporating cooked food back into your body, make sure that it's whole plant-based items. So again, you're getting the best and whole nutrients to really thoroughly heal and cleanse the body so that you can really achieve optimal wellness. So when it comes to me achieving this optimal wellness, guys, I like to shout out different businesses and things that I use so that you guys can maybe look into it yourself or find what works for you. But like for yoga, I use Bright and Salted Yoga. It's ran by Ariana Elizabeth. You could check her out on Instagram with Bright and Salted Yoga, and Bright and Salted and is actually the X symbol. So it's BRIGHTX Salted SALTED yoga. But you can look her up on YouTube. I've been using Ariana now for almost a year and a half. So very, very good. She has 5 minute, 10 minute, 15, 20, all the way up until an hour. Restorative, on the ground, standing up, sculpting, vinyasa, just easy breezy. Hey, I got to go to work. I only got 5 minutes. Like, it's so many different workout opportunities that she has on there, yoga options and meditation. So definitely check her out. When it comes to Tony, One Body LA with Juice and Toya, shout out to Juice and Toya. I found them on YouTube as well. I started using them at the beginning of this year, when I first was trying to get into my routine, because at first I was just doing like exercises that I knew from back in the day. And I'm like, I do better when I'm guided or when I'm have a trainer or somebody telling me what to do. So I found them on YouTube. They're really good. They give you modifications. So like beginner's version, Toya would normally do those. And then Juice, he would normally do the advanced versions. Shout out to Juice from being from Texas. You could check them out. And in the latter month or two, I have been going really hard with Mr. and Mrs. Muscle. Shout out to Viv with who is Mrs. Muscle. Her workout routines are phenomenal. She gives you status bars. She gives you modifications. She mixes it up. Lower body, cardio, abs, butt, like you name it, she has it. I absolutely love it. Multiple challenges, so good. Also has an app as well. Juice and Toya has an app as well. So I want you to check out both of those. When it comes to therapy, Aisha Anderson, she is based in Houston, Texas, but she is a licensed professional counselor at New Beginnings Mind Spa and Therapy. Now, although she's located in Houston, she offers teletherapy. So wherever you're at, as long as you have Wi-Fi, you have access to her. She is phenomenal, guys. She will give you all the resources and tools that you need to help you get your mental health on the right track. And then I also like to throw out other forms of therapy. When it comes to physicality, I didn't mention sexual activities. Shout out for September being Sexual Health Awareness Month. I'm all about positive sex practices as long as you're protecting yourself and you're make sure that you're hygienic and your partner is cleaning themselves and keeping themselves up to par so it does not cause the transmission of bacteria, diseases, or anything of that sort. Then I'm all down for it. So I do want to shout out our sex therapist that we would like to recommend, Adrian Brown with Houston Relationship Therapy. Now, I have not personally had to have used this person for sex therapy, but I have worked with them, and it is somebody that has a extensive history in counseling, but sex therapy happens to be one of their specialties. So that, believe it or not, affects mental, emotional, and physical wellness as well. So if you are needing assistance, you can locate this information in the description of this episode. I will have all of these different businesses listed and how you can get in contact with them. So again, guys, to recap, we did talk about optimal wellness, achieving physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, how important it is to achieve all four groups so that you can really have optimal wellness. It is going to take baby steps. It is going to take a plan of action. But if you stick to it, you will get to where you truly want to be, guys. My journey started about 5 years ago, guys, and I would have never thought that I would be where I'm at today when it comes to my optimal wellness. I was so sickly. I had 10 chronic illnesses, type 2 diabetes, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, bipolar disorder, type 2. So bipolar 2 disorder, that's both manic and depression. Dysmenorrhea, heavy menstrual cramps, menorrhagia, heavy blood flow, acute bronchitis. So I used to have an inhaler. I've had viral meningitis, allergies. Let me see, ovarian cystitis. I used to get ovarian cysts all the time. I used to get allergies every season, like acting up hardcore, and I don't have any of those issues no more because of my plant-based diet, because of my physical wellness, because of setting boundaries and letting go of things that are not adding value or bringing too much stress in my life. I have tapped more into my spirituality more in the last 5 years than I have ever in my entire life. And it has brought me to the place where I am at today, where I am happy, free, and at peace. And I'm teaching you how to do the same thing because I am here as New Nation Goddess to serve, heal, and educate the culture. All right, guys. And again, the culture for me is the underrepresented and the underestimated, which are people of color, women, LGBTQ+, because I am all three, and then veterans and individuals with disabilities, being connected to veterans and being a person that was legally classified with having disabilities, but no longer have those. I want to be able to help serve you. All right, guys. So to give news and announcements, which is our next portion of this episode, we have our health and wellness TSU, Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas, on Wednesday, September 14th. We will be in the building giving you guys plant-based nutrition consulting. All right, guys. And our book tour happening in October, Texas edition. October 8th, we will be in Austin. October 15th, we'll be in Dallas. And October 27th, we'll round up in Houston, Texas, which is my home city. I'm actually going to do something a little special for Houston. We're doing Black bookstores and Black wellness centers for the other cities. But since I am from Houston, I am going to be doing a private dinner where I'm going to come out of retirement and cook some really dope food and have a really dope event with the special guests that are going to come. So it's going to be a special VIP event, and I look forward to it. And you guys can keep up with my website at www.nngconsulting.org. That's N as in new, N as in nation, and G as in goddess consulting.org. And I'll have all that information in the episode description. If you guys have any questions or concerns, hit us up. Comment to this episode. You can send us an email at info@nngconsulting.org. You can send us a DM via Instagram at New Nation Goddess, and let us know what you think. Let us know what you would like to learn more of. Let us know if you have any questions that you would like us to address to the public, and we can. If you would like it to be more private, you could definitely do so, and we'll make sure that we keep it just between us, because I just want to make sure that you're comfortable in what you're asking. All right, guys. So be sure to like our podcast on all platforms. We are on multiple platforms. So check us out, find us, see where we're at. Be sure to like us and keep up with us so you can get the notification when the new episodes come up every Wednesday for Wealth and Wellness Wednesdays. You can also subscribe to our website where we get, we send out a monthly newsletter and we do email marketing up to 3 times a month, also on Wealth and Wellness Wednesdays, to let you guys know what's going on, keep you up with all the events, news, resources, and tips that you could take to become more wealthy and to achieve optimal wellness. All right, guys. And you can check us out on YouTube. We're under New Nation Goddess as well. And you can keep up with events and things of that sort. So again, guys, I just want to send gratitude. Thank you for checking in with us today. Again, during episode 4, we talked about frequency number 3, optimal wellness with New Nation Goddess, also known as Brittany Walker. But we're going to manifest a positive, productive, and peaceful remainder of the day and also of the week. We'll check you guys out next week. And we hope that we have been helpful for you guys. And we hope that you take, if you haven't done so already, that today is going to be the day that you start achieving your optimal wellness. All right, guys. Peace.